What are 5 myths about out-of-state real estate investing? These are important because you don't want to be kept out of a what could be a really profitable investment unnecessarily just because you've heard stuff that may not be true. So, here are what I consider to be the 5 biggest myths that I've ever heard about out-of-state real estate investing. I'm going to list them out real quick and then I'm going to go back and just briefly expand on each one. So, stick around because all of these are important. Number one, that you shouldn't do it. You hear people say that all the time. Number two, that people are going to take advantage of you. Number three, that it's not going to be nearly as profitable as if you invested local to where you live. Number four, that you're constantly going to have to travel to that property, which you may not have time for. And number five, that it's risky. How do those all sound? Throw a thumbs up if you have either heard that about real estate investing out of state or you want to know more about them. So let me go back through just real quick and hit a couple points about each one of these. Number one, that you shouldn't do it. This is like it's kind of like an old boys club. I get it. Like old school real estate investors, local, local, local. You should only buy in your own backyard. Have you heard that one? Throw a thumbs up on that one too. I hear that one all the time. You should only invest in your backyard. And, I don't want to call out control freaks. I used to be a control freak. But, a lot of people don't want to let go of control of their investments. And so they're like, no, you can only invest nearby. Consider that a projection on a lot of people's part. So that is a myth in my opinion. And it gravely depends on where you live because not everyone lives in an investor friendly area. So myth busted. Number two, that people are going to take advantage of you. Now, this one stems from a little bit more truth than, say, the first one. The first one's just kind of opinion and not based on a whole lot. But number two, there have been a lot of cases where when people know that the owner or the investor is not local, so they can't see what they're doing, yeah, they can take advantage of them all day long. But what this comes down to, this is not a deal breaker, and it doesn't mean it has to happen to you. The key is in learning how to manage properties from afar, which more specifically means managing your teams. When you learn these skills, you're going to be in a better position to not get taken advantage of. And honestly, even if some people fall through the cracks and do take advantage of you, it's not unrecoverable usually, assuming it's not such a drastic, dire situation. But there are ways to learn how to manage the people on your team and how to keep an eye out on things. It doesn't mean just because you're out of state that you're going to be snoozing your way through this investment. You can still pay attention to it, and you should. So, yes, people have been taken advantage of in the past. Does it have to happen to you? Absolutely not. Myth busted. Third myth, that out of state real estate investing is not nearly as profitable. I typically hear people in places like San Diego, Los Angeles, San Francisco, high appreciation areas saying, oh, well, yeah, you can go buy a $100,000 rental property in the Midwest, but all in all, that little bit of cash flow you get every month isn't going to be anything compared to the appreciation I'm going to get on my California property. That may be true in plenty of circumstances, but it's not always. And it's never true if you bite off way more than you can chew local to you and take on more than your resources really allow for, and the investment goes bust. It's like baby steps versus gigantic steps. So if you invest in the Midwest, for example, your entry price is lower, the whole house might be $100,000. So you're only $25,000 into it, and you're making solid monthly cash flow. You do have some appreciation potential, and you're making money in the other ways that rental properties make money. If you're not familiar with exactly what those are, I'll link a video below called the 5 profit centers of a rental property, so you can learn more about that. Versus the property in Los Angeles, San Diego, San Francisco, it might cost you $1 million to get in, and every month you're losing cash flow. All of that in hopes of getting that appreciation. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, and what if you don't have that much money to invest in the first place? So it's not a fair statement to say that you'll always be more profitable if you invest locally to you. There are some cases where that might be true, but there are plenty of cases where that's absolutely not true. So again, you have to look at your resource level, your skill level, and just understand more about what you're doing. Myth number 4, that you have to travel to your property all the time. You need to be willing to travel to your property if you need to be there for some reason. But this goes back to myth number 2, where I was talking about learning to manage your team and learning to manage the property. When you do that, there's very little that you need to go do. So like, let's say you have a property manager managing your out-of-state rental property. If once or twice a year they do a really thorough inspection, including pictures, descriptions of the inside and outside of the property, and they send that to you and they're in good communication, I don't know that you need to go there and check up on anything. But if your property manager kind of falls off the radar, you don't know if they're checking on the property, you don't know what's going on, yeah, you may need to go there. But again, this comes down to the team management. So there are ways to get around having to travel there all the time while still ensuring the value of your investment. So last one, myth number 5. I'm not going to go too much in detail about this one because I actually have a video where I go into full depths about this. A lot of people assume that out-of-state real estate investing is risky. Can it be risky? Heck yeah. Any strategy can be risky. But if you know how to do it properly, you know how to manage those teams, like I said, you learn about the strategy that you're doing, you can take a lot of that risk off. Just because you can't drive by the property that you own does not automatically mean that it's suddenly so much riskier. If you never check on your property, yeah, or if you take on a really advanced rehab, for example, or a big flip project or whatever, yeah, that's way riskier. But it's only risky to the proportion that you aren't getting educated about the best way to do it. I was trying to think of my phrasing there. It's just like, it doesn't matter if it's a local can you tell I'm getting a little heated up about this? A local property to you can be even more risky than an out of state. Like I gave the example earlier of $1 million house in Los Angeles versus a $100,000 house in the Midwest. You're going to tell me that the Los Angeles house isn't riskier? Really? Because you're a lot more money into that and you're hoping appreciation happens to the level that you want it to versus just investing in a nice little $100,000 house and collecting cash flow every month. Not a lot of money out of your pocket for that one. So be sure to check out that video below. So I hope this video helps bust some of the myths that may have been holding you out of out-of-state real estate investing. If you live in a high cost of living area, it just flat out may not be very advantageous for you to invest locally. That does not mean you cannot get into the real estate investing game. So if this video is helpful, hit the thumbs up, show me some love, and make sure you're also subscribed to my channel because I'm putting new videos out every single week in hopes that they will do nothing but help you advance in your real estate investing career.